You are listening to Museek's Behind the Musos.
Hey, James Leigh here. For those that don't know me, I am a multi-instrumentalist, vocalist and producer based in Newcastle, Australia. Today I'm going to be having a chat with the amazing Josh and Will about my latest release, Sad, and my creative process as a whole. So stay tuned and I hope you enjoy.
Hey guys, welcome back to Behind the Muso. I am Josh, this is Will, and this is James. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm great guys. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Doing pretty well. So today we're talking about your song Sad featuring Mishayla, if that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Mishayla.
And awesome. So how do you feel about it since its release?
I'm really happy with the response that I've gotten. I know Shay is really happy as well. Sadly, she's a bit sick at the moment. Otherwise, I would have brought her on as well. But yeah, so happy, so much support, so much feedback, all positive. Just, yeah, really good.
That's really good to hear.
Such an awesome response to have, isn't it, when you receive such great feedback after pouring so much effort into it. So how do you feel when releasing music? And how do you go about the pressure or the stress that accompanies it? Or do you not feel pressured?
Definitely feel pressure and stress comes along with it.
Yeah.
Probably the release is just, for me personally, just anxiety from the days to come. Just like, are they gonna like it? Is the algorithm gonna like pick it up like well enough? Is the algorithm gonna feed it to the people that follow me? Is it gonna put it in playlists? Is it gonna be nice, pretty much? So, you know, there's a lot of worries with promotion. I hate doing my own promotion. I hate, I'm not very good at selling myself. I'm still like pretty new to that. But yeah, I do my best and it's got me this far, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, just promotion stress and just like the actual song's performance with statistics and stuff.
That's interesting to hear about your something you struggle with most. Would you say that the promotional side, the kind of behind the scenes thing, is what you'd like to work on into the future and into future releases?
Definitely, yeah. Every time I go to release music, I make a plan, like a schedule with photos I've done on photo shoots, to fully writing posts out and keeping them saved just to have ready. It never really goes to plan. It's kind of just like, oh, I finished the song now. I just really want to release it. I just can't wait. So I always end up going a little bit early, but promotion is definitely something I want to work on, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not all bad. Being super excited about your song is definitely a good sign, and you should be, because the music you write is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Getting into the hang of it is, I got to release it. I finished it, now I got to take my time trying to release it. And as artists, I feel like it's just like, oh, but like, they're going to love it anyway. But it's like, trying to, stay focused, be like, I got to do this. There's still steps you have to take, even though like sometimes we can get ahead of ourselves. But that's good energy though. That's still something you want to bring to the table. You don't not want to be excited about a release. So
yeah,
regardless, I think it's fine either way. But what does that plan look like then? I know you said that you don't always stick to it, but when you do write it out, what does that look like?
So I'll set a release date and then maybe start making a plan a month before. So I'll set the date, I'll upload the song to my distributor, I'll fill out all the information, set a date, announce it maybe a day after or something, to start. That'll be like the first post, try and get some excitement going. But about, a month before the release is probably when I'd announce it. Then try to post something, whether it's on my story or my feed or something on my social platforms, maybe twice a week going forward. Making sure I'm answering like DMs and stuff I'm getting from people as well, and like reposting them sharing about my release as well. Yeah, I think the plan and the schedule mostly just involves like interaction with social platforms.
Yeah, it's really important that you like try and interact with these social media platforms and interact with your fans, because unfortunately it's not like the way it used to be now. Like,
yeah,
we all love to think, oh, our music is amazing, it'll just grow by itself. And yes, your music is amazing, but it's also so saturated, the market. So,
yeah,
trying to put yourself out there and create a presence is super important, and it's like critical to releasing music in the 21st century. So at least you're not doing nothing. It sounds like a pretty good plan. I'm not too familiar with how to like do press for music either, but it sounds like you've got a good plan. Posting on your stories, celebrating the people who are sharing it with you, and just constantly building that hype up until the release date. I think that's a pretty good plan, and it's definitely the right foot you want to get off on. So how do you feel your music has progressed since you first started writing music?
Oh man, just so much better.
That's a good start.
I have a difficult relationship with my first release. It's just the first thing I ever made that I thought at the time was good enough to show the world. That has definitely changed now, but people still listen to it, and people, like, when I catch up with old friends and just even people that I've not met that I'd never met before, say that one of their favorite songs that I've done is from the first release, and I just think I can't take it down. As much as I want to, I can't take it down. As well as I think it's important for, if someone's going to go through your discography, they can see that improvement and that growth in your music as well. But yeah, I mean, when I first released that, I think it was 2019, August, I think it was. I had a crappy Windows laptop, like an interface and a tiny little microphone, and like barely any of it was actual recording. A lot of it was just like MIDI samples and stuff. So now, like where I am now in Newcastle, I've got like big speakers, and I've got a really nice guitar, and I've got a nice amp, and it's all just hooked up. I've spent a lot more time investing in my gear to get kind of a better sound, as well as learning about mixing and producing as well.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's super important to understand where you started and where you are from now. And it's like easy to like bash your younger self, from so long. It's like, oh my god, you were so bad. But like, it's pretty admirable that you wrote music on, I guess, not the best quality laptop, not the best quality mic, and you had all these limited resources, but you were still able to create something that people still enjoy to listen to today. And to see that growth, and now you've improved so much more. You have better instruments, you're doing live recording, and you've got this big setup now, and it's pretty impressive to see that you were able to grow from that.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's important that no matter your limitations, you still try and do what you love.
Exactly. Yeah, just do the best you can of what you love.
Yeah.
And it's super interesting to see as well that in music as an art as well, that now when you've progressed and you're no longer happy with the stuff that you originally came out with, maybe that's because your production quality has increased in your own mind, but Josh is exactly right. Your audience is still listening to it and is still loving it. So, like you said, no matter how much you want to take it down, it's such a core part of your discography and your journey as an artist as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, this podcast, Behind the MUSO, is so nice to get to know the musician.
Yeah, definitely.
Because once you connect with the musician and their own thoughts, we start to see become a lot more engaged with the music that they produce.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you like meet the music, obviously for everyone listening, this isn't them meeting you, but they're meeting a different side to you, and it just adds another element when they're listening to music. So they they put on Sad and they're just like, oh, I remember James talking about this song.
Yeah. The authenticity.
Definitely.
They can listen to that first song and say, oh yeah, I know what he's talking about, and gain a real appreciation for how difficult it must have been for you to produce a song that still goes hard. And then now listen to Sad and be like, you know what, this is even better.
Yeah.
I think it's also quite hard to market authenticity without doing stuff like this with you guys as well. Like the more long form kind of get a window into the artist that you're listening to.
Yeah. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. Creating like organic growth and propelling it, you know, you need it, like, it's important to do stuff like this. So we're glad we can have you on so we can help you through that process, because your music is amazing and it deserves to be recognized.
Thanks so much, guys.
Circling back to Sad, the song we are talking about today, what was the behind the scenes like? How did you record it? How did you get the album art? You know, what did it look like? Yeah,
so it's a pretty cool story because it's quite different to my other ones. So I remember setting myself a schedule for the week to work being a musician, like a 9-to-5 job. And I set each day with starting a new project in a different way. So Monday, which was the day I started making Sad, was sit down with a guitar and write a full song before I even start recording. Just write it and get it out. And then like Tuesday might have been sit down at my piano and do the same. And Wednesday could have been hunt for some loops or some samples and make something that way. So I was just trying to get myself working differently every day creatively. I started working on Sad on Monday and did not do any other songs that week. It just came out of me with that guitar bit, and I was writing about stuff that was happening to me at the time, with being haunted by my dreams. And I never started that song, and I never worked on it aiming to release it. It was just for me. Like a lot of the writing in there is like very personal, so it was kind of just for me. And then I remember playing it to Shay, and she just goes, "That's so good. Like, can I please feature on that?" And at that point, the song was only 2 minutes long, so it had a whole bit that she could fill in for. So she came round and we wrote the next verse together. It was mostly her, but we wrote that verse, and after just doing heaps of takes, getting the best bits of it, consolidating it, getting like a really nice vocal in there, doing backing vocals, restructuring the song to like what it is now. And Shay was in it, and I was just like, wow, like this is really getting to a point where I think I want to release this. And then I did more work. I re-recorded a bunch of core elements with better equipment, and spent more time filling in instruments and just little bits, doing more mixing and everything. And then Sad. It's decided on a name because we couldn't really think of anything else to call it. I think it was finished a long time before it was announced, maybe a few months, because it just took a long time to kind of decide it was finished. Like, I'm sure you guys know, you don't ever finish something. Yeah. It's just like, I've been working on this for so long and I want the world to hear it. I'm deciding that it's ready. But even listening to it now, there's stuff I go, oh, I should have tweaked that a little bit or stuff, but I'm very happy with it.
Well, that's good to hear. The beauty's in the imperfections, I reckon.
Absolutely.
Not that I could pick up any, but I'm sure, like, as an artist, you're your hardest critic. So you're like, this, definitely. And this. But yeah, it's a great song, and I loved hearing Shay her contribution. I just really wish we could have gotten her on. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But maybe next time we can meet her in the future. But,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like a really interesting process. We've heard a couple of different ones in the show already, and that one's pretty unique. And, it's really cool to hear all these different approaches. You really learn something about the artist and how they do things, and then you can reflect on the music they write and think, that's how they got there.
Yeah. I think it was important as well for me that because I didn't set out to make something to release, it was a lot less pressure for writing as well. I felt like a bit more probably comfortable to express stuff that I wouldn't necessarily have expressed if I was starting a song for the purpose of like commercial release.
Right. Is that a process you're going to integrate in the future? Are you going to start writing music for yourself now, like just for fun, and then seeing where it goes? Or
I think I work on everything for myself. Like I've got hundreds of project files that'll never see the light of day, and I still listen to them, ones that I've made 2 or 3 years ago, just because they help me really and they remind me and humble me. But yeah, I definitely work on everything for myself. I think there's just a point with every project that I go, this is getting. I just get like a feeling. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just like, yeah, like this is good. It's just like that reassurance that I kind of get when I go over like a specific part of the song or like maybe a lyrical part or a melodic part, and I'm just like, yeah, this is good. Yeah.
So looking into the future now, what direction do you intend to take with your music? Are there any different sounds or instruments or genres that you want to delve into? Any people that you'd like to feature on your songs? What would you like to see your music look like in the next year?
So I'm hoping to get an EP out early next year, which is really exciting. I've not announced this yet, so this is an exclusive.
Whoa, there we go. Yeah. Really cool to hear that. Yeah.
So I've just spent the last few days in a lovely studio in Newcastle recording some music. Really, really happy with how it's come out. Really just taken, I think, the production to the next level. I think it's going to be a 6 or 7 track EP, hopefully sometime in the first or second quarter of next year. So I think for me at the moment, what I've been doing to try and get and grow more as well as incorporating new sounds and new genres is to try and just pump out demos, pick the best ones I can and just try and get them to a studio, because I think that's like what's next.
Awesome. That's so cool. Is this EP something you're going to drip feed to the audience, or is it just going to be coming out all at once?
At the moment, the plan is for a single release, maybe a month beforehand, and then just the 6-7 track after.
Yeah, that's sick. You're gonna get slapped in the face with just a bunch of bangers. I'm really excited to hear it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Absolutely. So looking forward to that. Looking ahead even further into the future now, do you have plans for the future, other projects that you're working on or even planning to work on? What's your 5-year plan?
5-year plan? Well, hopefully I'll be finished uni in 5 years.
What are you studying there?
I'm studying a double major Bachelor of Music.
Awesome.
Yeah, really enjoying it. It's great.
University of Newcastle, is that it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome.
So 5 years. Yeah, hopefully I'll be finished university. How old will I be? Got to think now. You guys are making me think. I'll be 26. Gonna have an existential crisis on the podcast.
Oh,
that's all right.
Really better help.
Hopefully I'll be living somewhere cool with like a nice little home studio that I can just muck around in and have fun. I mean, I'd like to think in 5 years I can be touring and making a living, but not something that you can like responsibly plan for, I think. So yeah, I just want to be making music and collaborating and meeting even more people and more musos and doing shows. Yeah, it's kind of hard to. I mean, the last few years for live music has been like a bit poor. So it's tough to kind of gauge where it's going to be at in 5 years, but hopefully better.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And kind of coming out of the last couple of years, hopefully you'll be able to get onto the local circuit and then even around New South Wales, around Australia. And do you see yourself wanting to travel internationally as well?
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely travel international. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty solid 5-year plan. Unfortunately, during these unprecedented times and just the music scene in general, it's really hard to, say with confidence that this is going to be my full-time career.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's a possibility for you, especially with the quality that you produce.
Thank you.
At a really frequent time period as well, like you writing music like every single day. That's very hardcore determination that I don't think many artists encompass. And with hard work and determination, you're like bound to get where you want to go, especially if it's something you really enjoy.
Yeah, so definitely.
Things are looking up for you, at least from my perspective, and you should just be really excited because I'm excited for you.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, and hopefully through Museek you can meet some more musos. That's what we're all about here, supporting each other.
Yeah, for sure.
We're all small, but we pack a punch. That's the point.
Yeah,
absolutely. So James, thank you so much for your time today. Where can people find you on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube? Go for it.
You can find me on Instagram at James Leigh Music, Facebook James Leigh Music, YouTube I think it's just James Leigh, Spotify James Leigh. Yeah, just pretty straightforward. Yeah, get excited for the EP announce, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. We are very much looking forward to your EP drop. We are going to absolutely love the music.
Yes.
So thank you so much for your time today.
No, thanks so much for having me on.
No worries. Yeah,
all right.
That's it.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Follow us on your favourite podcasting platform to never miss another episode. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Museek.app for all the latest updates and constant music recommendations. Be sure to head over to our website, museekdiscovery.com, to find our track of the week, curated playlist, blogs, and so much more.